Scientific research is increasingly showing an association between social media use and depression. In fact, some experts have termed the condition social media depression. And here to talk with us about this issue is Dr. Scott Carroll. Good morning, Dr. Scott Carroll, Associate Professor for the UNM Department of Psychiatry. Dr. Carroll, this sounds concerning, social media depression.
Yes, and while it's not an officially recognized form of depression, the term is starting to be thrown around.
Okay. So how do you, I guess the first question I have is, how do you know you have this? What are symptoms?
Well, it's based on some research that's showing that people who use social media a lot or have higher levels of social media use tend to be depressed or more likely to be depressed. And that doesn't mean everybody who uses, who's on Facebook a lot, is depressed, but there is an association. So the question is it causal, meaning does, the heavy social media cause the depression, or do people who are people who are depressed use social media more? So it's a chicken or egg question.
Interesting.
So it's not been figured out.
Sure.
But there are some things that have been shown to sort of think about. We do know that teens and young adults, the association is stronger.
So they're more like vulnerable.
Yes, right.
Interesting. Any particular reason or reasons that?
Well, what the big thing right now, what we're looking at is how when you follow people who only post the amazing stuff, their amazing vacation or their amazing dress or things like that, but they don't ever post their challenges or the boring stuff or just a more balanced presentation of their life. Then people start to compare themselves to they only follow people who post all this amazing stuff.
That's
and then they compare their life to that. And that seems to be a big thing.
That seems to be what the research is kind of showing. Interesting. Obviously, there are some useful things or some helpful things that come out of social media. Is that part of this research? I mean, is there a balance here?
Oh, absolutely. And the good news is there are at least two situations that the research is showing where social media is actually helpful.
Okay.
So elderly people really benefit from being on social media because it seems to help with their isolation. It helps them stay in contact with friends and family.
True.
So
they can stay connected.
Yes, exactly.
To the outside world. What about, Doctor, any advice to prevent perhaps social media depression and how to use it positively?
Well, okay. So the first thing is, just as I said about people who, following people who, are always only showing the good stuff, the same thing is if you only post the good stuff, that actually seems to make you more depressed. So my advice is keep it real. Follow people who actually give a balanced presentation of their life. And also you yourself should keep it real, meaning, show the good with the bad. I mean, obviously you don't want to post embarrassing things.
Sure.
But, show the good stuff and also your frustrations. That's also helpful. The second thing is don't let social media replace your real relationships.
That's a good point, I think. I think we get just overall in general get so caught up and we tend to sometimes I'll use myself as an example here superficially I'll contact my friends only through social media now. It's like when was the last time I picked up the phone and called my best friend in whatever state?
Right. And so like actually meeting in person or talking on the phone actually produces a stronger connection and actually builds the relationship, whereas just sort of texting and posting and those kinds of things don't have the same relationship value. So my advice is put the phone down, put the tablet down.
Don't let it rule your life, right?
Exactly. And actually, sit down and pay attention to the people you're with, and be present.
Gosh, this is an interesting topic. Dr. Scott Carroll, thanks for dropping in, talking to us about this. Always good to see you. By the way, if you would like more information on how to reach Dr. Scott Carroll, we have a link on our website. Just go to CASA.com and click on the CASA blog.